if you guys noticed, but Lenny went from episode 78 A and B, skipped over 79, and then supposedly you guys recorded episode 80.
Really? Wait, what?
Yeah, he just skipped 79. It's like we're gonna have to get this guy an abacus.
Welcome back for the first time, geek enthusiasts and lovers of the plastic crack. This is your safe space, free from safety. So put your hands on some plastic. It's time for Toy Detox.
Use this for Scott.
So is Mickey gonna jump on?
I don't think so. He said something about if he's not drunk, he'll come on or something. I don't know.
See, because
He's not.
that makes sense. He's gonna get drunk and then go
He's
try
not
to
drunk?
and
What?
then go and try to do an Air Force physical at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever excuse.
Oh,
he's
no,
coming
no.
up with.
You misread what he said. If he's not already smashed out. When he says smashed out, he means like sleeping smashed out, not smashed as in drunk smash.
Well, when I think of smash, it's something else. But
But that
Uh,
that too.
Maybe he's been watching too much Top Gun. It's like, alright, well, you know,
could be.
Tom Cruise likes to throw it around a little bit before the night before a big flight. So
You know what?
Maverick.
I can see Mickey out there playing shirtless volleyball with hanging with the boys playing in the background.
Yeah.
We need an '80s montage.
Somebody spike this ball. Come on.
All right. I guess we can go ahead and get started. So welcome to Toy Detox, episode 81. First and foremost, I would like to excuse Mickey, who's currently facing charges for sodomy. Apparently the state looks down on that in Georgia. Uh, but with me this evening is the Slim Fit Savages, of course. So you already heard him giggling in the background. Afote, how are you doing tonight?
What's going on, everybody? Chilling, same shit, different toilet. Speaking of sodomy.
Too much. All right, Spiros. We may have lost Spiros. He sounded like he was caught.
No, hey, I was muted because I was getting in the apartment. What is up, everybody?
So are you out of hurricane season now? Because it sounded like you were driving through everyone earlier.
Yeah, I am. I'm out of the wild roadways of Florida and back in the safety of my home.
You were skipping like crazy.
As are you.
Lovely. So Mickey isn't here, but he's obviously still left his mark with his Skype herpes flare up when he's not even here. And that luscious voice you just heard, the sultry sounds from down under. What's going on, Lenny?
How y'all doing?
He's back.
Yeah.
With
Wow,
the-
you wouldn't let me on the show.
No, it wasn't me.
It's like some kind of conspiracy to keep me off. No, we're not recording this week. We're not doing a show. Next minute, it's up on Facebook. I'm like, oh, I see how it is. All right.
I think that's some Mickey level Alex Jones conspiracy.
Yeah.
So hey,
Hats.
let me ask you a question, Lenny.
Oh, shit.
How do you feel about this Crocodile Dundee remake happening?
Oh my god. I mean, it's probably the best thing ever for Australian tourism because everybody loves Danny McBride, right? Look,
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
isn't Paul Hogan like a national hero down there?
well, I'm pretty sure he's going to be our next prime minister, to be honest. But look, I don't know, man. I was never really a big fan of the original films, and this one looks like it's a parody of. So maybe look, they're pretty much gone and asked every top like A-list Australian actor to be in this thing. You see Hugh Jackman does a cameo in the trailer, but who else is in there? Chris Hemsworth, fucking the hottie Harley Quinn girl. What's her name?
Is she Australian?
Yeah, she's Australian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Maggie, whatever her name is.
Margot Robbie. That's
Margot
her.
Robbie.
Margot Robbie, yeah.
And I think even Russell Crowe's in there. Gonna punch something because he's Russell Crowe, mate. Look, it's probably gonna be fucking horrible, but everyone's gonna go watch it because
But isn't it? But I thought it was just a commercial, though. I didn't think it was like an actual movie, right?
No, it's happening. It's
Is it
actually
really?
happening. Yeah. So I think Danny McBride is like some long lost relative of what was the character? Mick Dundee? Was that his name?
No, I think it's his
Micko.
son.
Micko. It's his son. All right, cool.
Yeah, I read a synopsis, so it's like his American-born son. So I don't know if this is the son from the chick that he had in the first movie, the blonde girl. I can't think of her name, but yeah. So he's going down under to get back in, to get in touch with his Australian roots.
Right. It's gonna be horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hollywood rarely gets remakes or reboots right, so very rarely do they do them right. So I'm pretty sure this will not buck that trend. I hope it does, but probably won't.
No, they're just going to get every stereotypical Australian saying in there. There's going to be shrimps on barbies and fucking lots of crikey mates. And what else do we apparently say all the time?
Cunts.
Cunt. They won't throw that in there. There's no way.
Well,
This thing's going to be PG-13.
I think if anything, it's going to
Many
end
people
up
buy
being
tickets
the
this weekend.
bumbling, dumb American in Australia.
Fish out of water story.
Is Skype like acting nasty for the rest of you guys, man? Like every 2 minutes, I'm getting a skip.
Yeah, you're crackling on my end every time.
Yeah,
you say.
you're crackling for me.
Yeah,
too,
you're correct, man.
Jeez. Okay.
Maybe it's not Mickey Skype AIDS.
Oh!
Well, he gave it to me. I'm probably just having a flare up. I need some herpid. What is it? Herpicil, whatever it is.
Get some ointment on there.
Oh, that's funny. All right. I guess we can jump into adventures and nerding. So, Afote, how's your week been, man?
My weekend was pretty good. From an adventures and nerding perspective, I didn't purchase anything. I didn't get any purchases or anything like that. I did finish up a website for a friend of mine, a DJ by the name of K-Def. So go check it out, k-def.com. It's the homie. He's pretty famous, like behind the scenes type dude. Like he's done a bunch of stuff for a lot of rappers on the low. Like he's done songs for Diddy. He's done Lords of the Underground, the Chief Rocker song. He's done work with KRS-One, Marley Marl, Lord Tariq, Craig Mack, all kinds of stuff. So a mutual friend of ours hit me up and was like, yo, we need a website. So I was like, yeah, sure. So that just launched. And he's got this really cool thing that he's doing called isolation. So basically, he's got, and I think I spoke about this before on a previous podcast when I was like building it during my adventures in nerding, but now it's finished, right? So he essentially he's got the masters. I don't know how he got them, but somehow he's got a lot of like old masters from like old funk and rock records. And he's able to isolate pieces of the songs and basically sample them and use them as samples. So like for instance, something like Impeach the President, right? Like that famous breakbeat that everybody uses. He's able to take different pieces of the breakbeat out and just make a song out of that. Like, really cool stuff that nobody in hip hop is doing. Like, nobody is doing this. So it's very, very innovative, very, very cool. Innovative from the sense that like people are sampling, right? Like everybody samples, but not this way. So really cool stuff. So that got launched. I did buy something, but not any toys. I bought a microphone shield, a monoprice microphone shield. Trying to build a little studio in the house so I can do some voiceover work and some, recording, do a little bit more music on the side. Trying to think of what else. I rewatched the Cloverfield Paradox to try and catch some things that I missed before.
Nice.
Dude, I watched that. That thing was trash.
Are you serious?
I did not like it at one bit, man.
I loved it.
I wouldn't say it was trash, Tyler. I would say, put it this way. I would agree in the sense that when you compare it to the other films within the Cloverfield universe, sure, it falls short. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as biased as I am towards all things Cloverfield, definitely it's a little, lacking when compared to the other ones. The way it's the first 2/3 of that thing, to me anyway, phenomenal. Like really, really good. But then it just like fizzled out towards the end, and it became a convoluted mess. I can understand why you would say it's trash. I personally won't agree with that degree of sentiment. I don't know if it's trash per se, but it definitely isn't as good as I thought it would or should be. But yeah, I just rewatched that to try and catch some things that I didn't see before. But what did you think about it, Lenny? You seem to
look. I like the fact that it gave the other two films some exposition. Like, so basically, all the shit goes down, and it's gonna cause, like, from that little interview of watching that guy back on Earth. This thing is going to cause ripples, not just now, but in the past and the future. So it explains where all this shit came from, and that was enough for me to go, all right, this fits in with the other two. I mean, they've come out and said that none of these films are really going to link up with each other. They're just all going to be standalone films. I mean, I think they've already shot the fourth one.
Yeah, but I mean, does it link it together? Because we still really don't get an explanation from where the monsters come from, except from, it caused the different the different realms to merge.
Well, that's the explanation. That is the explanation, isn't
it? They're saying that the Hadron Collider, like the CERN Hadron Collider, could tear open a rift in space-time and shit could come through. And basically, it was that, but in space, and that's where these things come from. Like, demons could come through, and these guys are just really big fucking demons. Right.
I mean, essentially, that is the explanation, right? So
yeah.
I guess
I don't know. I'm a pretty big conspiracy theorist. Like, I love watching all that CERN shit, like all the crazy videos that people post on YouTube about CERN and all the ridiculous experiments they're doing over there. So I don't know. I like that they used that concept to explain how all this shit came to be in the past and future. So
because the movies are like the first Cloverfield happened in 2007 or something like that, 2009. I forget which year. And then this Paradox movie takes place in like 2073 or something like that, right? So
yeah,
clearly there is some sort of jump.
And Cloverfield Lane does it run simultaneously with the original Cloverfield, or is it?
I don't know.
You never really find out, do you? It's just
they don't really say. Nah, they don't say. Nope.
I want to say 10 Cloverfield Lane takes place afterwards, because the way John Goodman's character talks about it is, I think he even says like it started with New York.
Oh, yeah. He did say something about it starting with New York. That's true.
Hey, guys, hang on one second. Hang on. I'm going to stop the recording. And I don't know who's blowing leaves, but hang on.
Yeah, that's me. Look, every time I want to record a fucking podcast, somebody decides to do their lawn. Give me a second. I'm
Hey.
gonna go and I'll go throw rocks at him.
And we're back after a Skype herpes flare-up. Wouldn't be Toy Detox without one. All right, so yeah, back to Cloverfield. It sucked. It was terrible, and you guys were defending it. Ready, set, go.
How about you tell us why you think it's so?
All right. So I get it, and I understand that they said there was zero connective tissue. But if they're going to take that stand and say zero connective tissue, A, why do we keep the same monsters? B, why do we keep the same Cloverfield title? And C, I think it would be more interesting, like, if you kind of kept the same actors, but you told the story differently every time the, you know, if you want to call them universes or realms, or what is the term they use, realities. I think it would be more interesting to see the point of view from the same person through each different reality, and then see them kind of come together as one.
That actually would be dope. That would be a dope idea, actually, to be honest with you.
No, I don't like it at all.
Oh,
Sounds too
doesn't
much.
like it?
Sounds too much like a season of American Horror Story. And we all know how bad they got.
I've never seen a single episode of American Horror Story except for the first one, the very first one.
The first season was good, but after that, you can kind of check out.
Yeah, the first two, I thought the first two were okay.
Wait, which was two?
Hotel was the second season, right?
No,
No, Hotel was like
That was like 5 or 6.
Was two the insane asylum or the witches?
Yeah, 2 was Asylum. The
Okay.
first one was Murder House.
Yeah.
was-
I enjoyed the most recent season with all the Trump craziness, and what was it called? Cult.
Oh, really? They tied it into Afote's favorite president.
Yep. Yeah, my number one favorite president. I love Orange Joffy.
Yeah.
So
The season kicks off with Trump winning the vote, like with actual footage.
Really?
Footage.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what's kind of the synopsis? Can you give us a little bit of it?
For American Horror Story.
Yeah. With Trump?
So basically, it's the guy that was Quicksilver in the Fox universe.
Okay.
He decides to start this little cult of basically Trump fanatics. They dress up as clowns. They go and terrorize people. Like, this is the problem with American Horror Story. They decide to go with 3 storylines and try and cram it into one season instead of just going with one. They do it almost every season. There's so the Asylum one, all of the Asylum shit was really cool, but then they put aliens in it as well. And it's like, we didn't really need the alien part, you know what I mean? So because of the popularity of the new It film, they decided there had to be scary clowns in this one as well. So you've got the cult members dressing up as clowns and, you know, going and fucking up people and murdering people. There's lots of murdering. And, you know, it basically, there's like this guy backstabs this guy, and then this girl backstabs this one, and it's just like, they try and cram too many plot twists in every episode now.
Well, it's
rather than just tell a story.
It sounds like The Grudge.
Yeah.
Is it Grudge? Purge.
You mean Purge?
Yeah.
The Purge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's along those lines of thinking a little bit. Yeah. I did see there's a new trailer for how the Purge comes to be, and it's the little, like, Make America Great Again hat.
Ugh.
The little red hat. So they're going to use Trump to tell the story of how the Purge began, which probably isn't that far-fetched, to be honest.
I was just getting ready to say, probably not too far-fetched.
Ugh.
I only saw the first Purge. I didn't see the second one. But
The second one was actually great.
That's what everybody says. Everybody says the second one is actually better than the first.
Yeah.
Well,
I enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed the second one. I really enjoyed the first one, actually. Like the whole, like, it just tells that one story of the people coming to that one house. But then, the other ones have to branch out, and there's lots of like driving around the streets. And there's a guy with a fucking um like a fully automatic fucking machine gun strapped into the back of a truck, and they're just driving around the city, just murderizing people, which is, that's fine. But
Just
yeah,
another.
I like the contained story of that one group of fucked up individuals coming to fuck with that one family. You know what I mean? I just felt that was a better story. And the third one I'm not sure of. There's already three, right?
There's three. Yeah, there's
Is
three.
there? Holy crap!
I don't think I've watched the third one. I don't think I bothered. It looked bad.
Interesting. Well, that's funny because I actually like the second Cloverfield better. So back to that, I still want to hear how you guys think this is a good movie.
Well, for me, again, just the first 2/3 of it were good. Like, and I think Spiros, you talked about this. You kind of mentioned this on our last episode, how it basically was essentially like it felt like a really good, almost like a Mass Effect film, right? Like it kind of felt that way. And this kind of goes to your point as well, Tyler, in the sense that if it was a disconnected, standalone thing, probably would have worked out better, right? Like if it wasn't set in the Cloverfield universe, it probably would have been a little better.
I think
but
it.
because
I think it would have made it. Not to cut you off, but I think it would have made
no,
it.
go ahead, go ahead.
I think it would have made it worse. Like to
You think
me,
so?
oh yeah, like to me when I'm watching it, it felt like one of those sci-fi original movies. Is what it felt
Yo,
like.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
I
that.
can
I
see
would say
that.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Definitely. Like a really well budgeted one, right? Like a big budget sci-fi movie, like the polar opposite of Sharknado or some shit like this, right? Um, for me, the first 2/3, especially when reality starts going nuts
Yeah.
and all kinds of crazy shit starts happening, like that to me was very interesting. I found that part to be interesting. But then again, once the kind of familiar beats just took over, and you get, okay, here's the twist that you saw coming from a mile away, and like, what I mean, like
Well,
all this kind of shit.
all right. Well, okay. So there were some times I think they did it right, like when the girl appeared, like apparently whenever she went through the shift or whatever, and she had like was stuck in the
That was
in the
crazy.
cupboard.
Yeah,
She had all
that-
the
Yeah.
cables
That
and
was
stuff going
fucking
through her. I was
crazy,
like,
yo.
ooh. So like,
That shit was wild.
so that is my example of doing it right. Doing it wrong is the guy from IT Crowd whose arm gets sucked into the wall.
Oh my god,
Like-
that was the best part.
That was
He said,
terrible. That was corny as can
love
be.
Fucking on.
Yeah, look. I'm pretty biased. That's one of my favorite TV shows, the IT Crowd. So
No, like I love the IT
when I
Crowd. Like I
saw
think
that
it's
Chris
funny.
O'Dowd was in it, I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he in this film? And then you find out why, because he has to do the whole slapstick my arm. Well, that's my fucking arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
and
I
they-
enjoyed those parts.
And they never really explained how the other version of him, or how the arm was able to tell them to go look in the other guy. When it was like asking for a
me,
pen, like I'm like,
I just chalked it up to reality being stupid. Like that's me personally in my head. I just said, okay, we are in a space now where reality itself follows no rules, so anything can happen.
Yep.
That's how I explained it off in my head.
well,
So
I mean, but the thing is, it's like, okay, I could see if it was supposed to be another version of him in his arm, right? So, like, if there's an alternate reality version of him who also happened to lose his arm in this weird instant, but, like, how else would he know to use a pen? Like, how, like why,
reality,
like,
dude,
why
like,
would you think
crazy
that,
reality.
like, why would you think that your arm was on the other side and that you could still, I mean, it was too much for me.
Well, they came across the arm and then it started like trying to scratch into the floor,
Well,
like it was trying to
yeah,
write
no,
something.
no, I get that, but like, if you were in control of that on the other side, so like put yourself in that guy's shoes. If you got your arm mysteriously cut off with no pain and no blood, and you can't feel it anymore, would you think that you would still be able to control it in some weird way? or would you just think your arm was gone?
Put it this way. In our reality that we live in right now, no, of course not. But again, we're talking about this crazy sort of like mixed up, two realities converge in one place, and one doesn't know which one wants to be the dominant reality at the same time. So anything can happen type reality.
That's a
It's
convenient
totally,
excuse, though.
it's a MacGuffin, no doubt.
Mm.
Absolutely. I give you that 100%. It's a MacGuffin. Word up, no doubt. But at the same time, that's kind of the explanation for it. It may be a sloppy explanation. I'll give you that. But, you know, when you, it's kind of like, put it this way, it's kind of like the sort of suspension of disbelief one needs to have to enjoy a Transformers, a Michael Bay movie, right? Like, lots of shit that goes on in those movies doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But if you leave your brain at home and just enjoy the pretty colors, not half a bad movie. You know what I mean? Same with this shit. Like,
I
I left my brain at home and just said, "Oh, look, this kind of reminds me of the thing." Like, you know what I mean?
I feel
So
like I'm living the Cloverfield paradox right now because I feel like I've time shifted to last week, and instead of Mickey hosting, we have Tyler hosting.
Yeah, except I actually watched it.
And we're having the same exact conversation.
mhm. Yeah,
No, yeah, except I actually watched the movie where he didn't. So
he didn't. Yeah,
See,
true.
the alternate reality.
Alternate reality with some slight differences, but it definitely wasn't as good as it should have been. I will not argue with anyone who makes that assessment. At
and
least in my opinion, it wasn't as good as it should have been.
and I can't believe you watched it again, man. I got done watching that thing and like I wanted my time back.
I wanted to see shit
Kind
that I
kind of
didn't
like
find.
Lost.
Oh,
Kind of like what?
Lost,
Kind of
like
like
Lost.
Lost.
Uh, I don't know. It's been so
Like,
long since
you're
I
you're
since I
invested
watched
for
Lost.
you're invested for 5 seasons, and it all kind of seemed like it was going somewhere, and then season 6 was crap, and then you're like, I'll never get that time back.
hmm Yeah.
Thankfully, I only got about 6 episodes into season 1 and went, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this for the Lost fans." I think I missed an
Nah,
episode and then jumped back in, and I'm like, "All right, I don't know any of these people. I don't know what's going on,
I
and I'm out.
I
I'm out."
think the first 5 seasons of Lost were pretty good.
Yeah, because it seemed like they were going to
Yeah, the
a
first
certain.
5 are actually really good. And then that sixth season is just like, what? And then it just ends. Like it just fucking ends. It's like one of the worst endings since The Sopranos. Like, come on. Like, word? You just gonna just end like that? Like you're gonna jerk my dick this whole fucking 6 years and then just not finish at the end? Like, what kind of bullshit is this?
It's
We
fun.
we address Afote's underlying sexual frustration.
Well, I think we would know what he would do with that hand he found from another dimension wandering around on a ship.
Put some fingernail
Hey,
polish on it.
hey
Put some
there.
fingernail polish on it, and it's a go.
It's the interdimensional stranger.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So where were we? I think we were.
Nah, that was it
Uh,
with my adventures in nerding. We were
Yeah, that
doing
was Afote's
nerding.
adventures in learning.
All
That
right.
was it pretty much. I didn't do anything else.
All
And
right.
play more Hot Wheels.
And you played more
Forza
Hot.
Horizon 3 Hot Wheels.
Wow. All right, Spiros.
My adventures in nerding were quite full. My daughter had her birthday on Friday, so
Nice.
and she, as coincidence would have it, they had school off Friday for the Florida State Fair. Like in Florida, you get a day off to go to the fair.
For the fair.
So
Wait.
I took,
Wait, for
what?
the fair, they get off school.
they get the Friday like that the fair starts up like off so they can go.
That's some real
Uh,
country stuff right there,
Yeah,
man.
it's the most country thing about like Tampa because I always say that Tampa isn't like part of Florida. Um, it's its own beast, and you have the Panhandle, which is like straight country, and then you have Central Florida, which is like just
Straight tourists.
fucking the anomaly people, and then you have Southern Florida, which is like the Hispanics and the Jews.
Whoa.
Hey, dude, I'm just breaking it down the way
Well,
it is.
I mean, you could say it with a little less hate in your voice there, sir.
No, I'm trying to get through the point, man. I'm not trying to, uh,
I don't
so
need I don't need some civil rights activists on here coming after us.
hey, if we haven't had anyone come after us for the past 80 episodes,
I know with Garrett saying what he says and all that shit.
but anyway, so I booked a night at Legoland's beach retreat. Like it's and it's kind of funny because somebody asked me what it was like, and I said it looked a lot like the the Dharma housing from Lost. So it's like a lot of little like duplexes, and everything's Lego themed. And I mean the kids had a blast. Like they were losing their shit when we opened the door to the little condo beach house thing. And then we went Friday to Legoland, and I'm probably gonna have to get annual passes. Is how much my kids loved it, and I thought it was cool. Like I thought all the Legos
Legoland, dude.
badass.
It's Legoland, of course.
That just sounds
Dude.
expensive.
Yeah, if I could have switched places with you for one day in my life, Tyler, I wish it was Friday.
What is that supposed to mean?
I would have been spending Hot Toys money on Legos, like in the shop, because they had some insane sets, and like they had the prices on the bottom. So every time I picked them up and I saw like the price tag, I'd be like, "Yep." Drop it right down on the shelf. Like there's like a Big Ben for like $280, and like a London Bridge for like $350, and
Yeah, but
then
but I mean, like, there's got to be a bigger markup on those than if you like got it online. You know what I mean? Because like,
You're at Legoland.
yeah, exactly. So like,
Yeah.
they're gonna get you.
I don't know. I checked the prices online on the Lego shop online, and they were pretty much in line with what you would get from the Lego store online.
Really?
Yeah, like they had the big ass, the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon that just came out.
Yep.
Like it's $800 or $600.
Yeah, it's $800.
Yeah. So, oh man, I was just like, I'm like, I should just go nuts and just destroy my bank account and then go into hiding with all my Legos.
I feel bad for my parents. They bought me so much Lego when I was a kid.
Man, I think it was
They'd buy me castle sets. Like I had all of the medieval stuff, and I remember I had like 6 fucking castles. That shit must have been like a fucking take out a mortgage just to buy me Lego.
I think that shit was a lot cheaper when we were kids, though, man.
Yeah, I think it was too, because I don't remember Lego being a thing. Like I had tons and tons of Legos when I was a kid, as well. So, I mean, my cousins, like, because I'm Greek, so I have like a huge family, like, and I have like 52 cousins. But
Holy
like
crap.
one of my cousins, like they had like a train table, like you would have a model train on, but it was like the at the end of the Lego movie where they come out of the Lego world and it's the kid and Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
and it's like this gigantic city. Like my cousins had that shit, and I was like forever envious of their setup. It's funny because I remember they had like the tanker truck, and it was the biggest, most detailed city set that like they had at the time, and I was like always like jonesing to like go over to my cousin's house and play with like the tanker truck set because it was so in depth. But I mean, like I spent a shitload at Legoland for the kids.
For the
Like they had
kids. I like how you got to specify. It's for the
Dude,
kids.
no,
Yep,
you know,
trying to get
and
you
honestly, it's funny because like I was trying to micromanage their pick a brick experience, like because like they have a store where it's like bricks in bins and you can just load up plastic bags like a bulk store, and like my kids are just grabbing handfuls of like these like very specific pieces like handlebars or like swivel pieces, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, don't grab a handful of that shit and not grab a handful of like the part B to it. I'm like, because I'm not paying for a bunch of useless pieces. Like, um, so
that you'll step on in the middle of the night.
yeah, no, but it's funny because it's like it was like $7.99 or $8.99 per like quarter pound of Legos. So like I grabbed a bag and it was like the first bag I saw and I was like, okay, it's probably like a half-pound bag. And like so like my son like fills his up almost immediately and I take it up to the counter and they're like, yeah, this bag's gonna be like $30. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like and I look at my son and he's like smiling his little head off and I'm like, okay, and then Audrey comes up with a bag like almost filled to the brim and it's like that's gonna be a 40-pound or a $40 bag. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm glad I sold Voltron to Tyler the night before. Man. I mean, it was a good time. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. So that was the experience of my adventures in nerding. I also reacquired MMC Spartan.
Nice.
For
Very nice.
Actually, the guy I sold it to sold it back to me for the price I sold it to him at. So it's basically like he was just keeping it warm for me.
That's pretty cool though.
And it's awesome because like the thing almost doubled in value since I sold it to him.
Damn,
So-
how much is Spartan going for now?
He's going for like 150, 160.
Wow.
So I
That
got
much,
that back,
wow.
which is awesome. I also got my Unrustable Bastards.
How
Yeah, tell us all about that.
yeah, I was gonna say, how are those, man?
They're really good.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
They
hearing
look amazing.
I'm
They
hearing
look
I'm hearing
absolutely
mixed
amazing.
things.
No, I love them. I mean, they've got like that Spartan level MMC plastic quality. Just they feel solid. Really customizable. I wish I was a customizer because I would probably enjoy the shit out of the swap out parts and there's so much like they got different faces, different heads for the little rider guy, and then chest panels for the the robot. So I mean, and it's a good transformation. You can definitely tell it's designed by Cassie Sark, the guy who did he does 80% of MMC's initial designs.
They're
So-
still using some of his designs. They've got a stockpile.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Like a lot of ridges, but it seems like who's the guy who was it Griffith? Is he still with MMC?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Griffith is the guy who refines Cassie's designs. So like
Yep.
he basically, I always joke that he flattens out Cassie's designs so that they're not so ridgy and panel lined and all that. So dude, it's classic MMC feel, and I really like it.
Yeah, I want to pick up the Akira style bike.
Yeah, here's a testament to my salesmanship. Like Tyler was hounding me to sell that red bike to him,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, I don't have that available for you, but I do have a Voltron set. And, yeah, I was like, let's put you into something that's a little more available to you.
Available to me. I don't like being told no, sir.
I know, and you know what? I honestly relished that exchange. Post sale, I relished it.
Yeah, why is that?
Yeah, and then I started watching Altered Carbon on Netflix,
How is that,
and
man?
Oh
I keep
yeah,
seeing
dude,
it
it's fucking
advertised.
awesome.
I keep
It's
seeing
really
it.
awesome.
good.
It's got a good storyline. I'm intrigued. It's it's got that over the top decadence, like almost Caligula kind of vibe to it, because these
Very.
rich people, which they call meths, which I find kind of strange, but these rich people have been living for hundreds of years because they keep transferring their consciousness into new sleeves, which are new bodies.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's why they call them meths, because they're supposed to be named after Methuselah in the Bible, who lived to be like 969 years old or something like this.
oh, okay, I must have missed that when I was
Yeah.
fiddling, one of my bastards.
They didn't really say it in well, you know what? I can't even say that because I only watched the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, I
But
want to say they probably did mention it because it seems like a pretty big plot point to, constantly calling these people meths and not have it be confused with like meth heads.
Right.
But I mean, so like these people live for hundreds of years, and they always have that trope in movies and stories, like immortality, like you tend to either go mad or get bored, and it seems like both are happening to these rich people, because I watched an episode today where this married couple was fighting to the death, and so long as one of them killed the other, like the winner would get an upgraded body, but the loser would just get re-sleeved into their same bot, like a clone of themselves. So, and then the main character, who's like he's a special guy, like he's got special abilities because some Deus Ex Machina, he gets thrown in there, and he like whoops their asses, and then they're like, I can't afford to get him a new body, and he kills the guy just to make his employer basically like honor the agreement of if somebody dies, like they get new bodies. Which is, I probably just explained that rather terribly, but just go watch it because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's really, really well done. The production values are amazing in it. It looks very, very good. One thing that really stood out to me was the very first episode, where they kind of break down, a lot of the origin of the main character. There was one part where everybody was being released, I guess, from that, like, I guess that jail or whatever it was that you want to call it.
Yeah, like
And,
the holding area, or the holding.
Yeah, the holding area, I guess, is a better way of describing it. And then that one little girl was stuck in the old woman's body.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That part
Yeah,
just fucked me up.
it's and I mean, this is the first episode, so it's not like a huge spoiler, but what Afate's talking about is they re-sleeve murder victims as well, because like they can pop anybody's consciousness out of the body and put it into a new body, So like these poor people get like murdered, and this girl got murdered. She was like 7 years old, and they sleeved her into the body of like a 45 or a 55-year-old woman.
Oh, that's
And
that's traumatic.
yeah, like, and they show it like she's walking around, and it almost seems like she has Alzheimer's. But she's just so tore up that she's one, not in her own body because she basically was like brought back from the dead,
Yeah.
and two, she's in a much older body. So, you know,
I just it really fucked me up because I was thinking to myself like, damn, because my son is 6, like what if he lived in such a time where we could bring people back and they brought him back in some old man body like that? Like,
Yeah, where he's like your
you know.
age, but he's 7. Like,
yeah,
no. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, man, but like, I'm just thinking, like,
It's
I
fucked up,
I mean,
yeah.
I have, 12, almost 13, 10, 7. Like, I couldn't imagine my 7-year-old son coming back into a body that's just as old as I am, or even older. Like, yeah,
No, yeah, I was gonna say even older because this was like an old lady. She was like, she had to be like a good 65, 70 years old.
do you think so? I don't know. Maybe.
She looked it. Maybe she might have just been really haggard probably and just
Yeah,
looked that
maybe
age.
Maybe I just know some rough 45-year-olds, so that's why.
Mm.
well,
Yeah,
you do live in
yeah.
Tampa.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part fucked me up, man. That part was like, damn, I felt really bad for the little girl.
Yeah, but I'm 3 episodes in, and like I'm jonesing to get off the call and watch some more, but I
Yep.
should probably go
Yep.
a little bit more.
Dude,
Like,
the AI hotel though, like that AI hotel. That
Oh,
was
damn it.
so
Now
bad.
I want to go watch this shit.
That was that
So,
was a super cool scene with the AIs like talking to each other. They were like playing cards.
mhm.
Like that, I'm interested to see what's going on with that because that seems like a really cool subplot.
Interesting. And what was this called again? One more time?
Altered Carbon.
Altered
Yeah.
Carbon. All right.
I've got it saved to my list on Netflix, so I'm going to check it out later too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was-
it's good. It's good.
What put that on my radar was they had a really ingenious marketing scheme where they had a booth at E3. Or E3 was like a month ago, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had a booth at E3 where
No,
they
no,
had
no. CES, not E3.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, CES just took place in Vegas.
yeah. So they had a booth at CES where people were dressed up like employees of this company from the show, and they were talking about how you don't ever have to die because you can get re-sleeved. And they had, I don't know if it was a prop or like an actor who was really committed to his role, but they had a sleeve which was like a body in a giant bag on a table
Wow.
at CES.
Oh, I remember seeing that, and they had like a breathing tube, like a feeding tube going into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I remember seeing the ad for that.
Yeah, well, some people were posting on Facebook, and I was like, all right, these people are dumb. This is obviously, because you would hear about this technology somewhere in nerd culture prior to it being unveiled to the public. So I had to go and do my research, and then it's like, yeah, it's a marketing God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Scheme.
Stunt, publicity stunt, for Altered Carbon on Netflix. So as soon as it dropped, I was like, all right, that's in my queue.
Yeah, I might have to go check this one out sometime. It's good. All right, man. Anything else?
No. Leonard,
Hi.
you've been, sir.
Yeah, I've been good. I think the last time I was on was episode 20, so there's been lots of nerding.
Stop.
Kicked me out of the group chat and all.
You left the group chat.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I've been just fucking with you. Yeah, all right. I guess I'll run through the toy stuff first because there's been a few things. I think I got Aero Alpha since I was on the show last time, right?
Arrow Alpha. Which one is Arrow Alpha?
That's
Uh,
Wing, MMC
yep.
Wing.
Okay.
Which that was nice to get a new mold. It's got some fucking pretty amazing articulation, actually.
I was just going to ask you about the articulation because he looks like he.
It's nuts,
Yeah.
man. It's got like a shoulder butterfly almost because the ball joints in the shoulders are so big that you can actually get it back and forward quite a fair way. The ankle tilt's refreshing after 5 different Calidus molds. Because the ankle tilt wasn't best on that, but it's amazing on this one. Like the fucking range is nuts. So that was cool. That was like 3 months ago. So
He's a good looking bot too. He's a really good looking bot.
Like some people don't like the shoulders, but that's what the character looks like. To an extent. I mean, it's probably a little bit larger on the toy, but that's sometimes that's the sacrifice you have to make so that it transforms.
Right.
But like some people were saying it's really back heavy. I didn't find that at all. I don't know whether people had some bad ankle joints or something, but mine was fine. And then I got sent a Calidus Luminous to photograph.
Which one is Luminous?
And that, so basically, I had a conversation with the owner of MMC, and we were talking about how quite a few people missed out on a chance to get that new Lost Light looking Rodimus Prime, or just Rodimus. And if you didn't go to TFCon, and it sold out on the Planet Steel Express store quite fast, so quite a few people were still looking for it. And then I guess I don't know who he talked to. Maybe it was Azar, who does a lot of the colors for the toys, but they decided that the purple Rodimus from Lost Light isn't really what he looks like on the interior pages. It's more the cover art. So they came up with this grey with purple highlights, Luminous, which I got sent the prototype to photograph, and just kind of slowly leak out and see what people's reaction was, basically. Quite a few people were into it, but last I heard they're going to refine the colors a little more. So I think it's still happening.
I just dropped 2 pictures of yours in the chat too, by the way, guys.
Okay.
I like the blue on him. I really like that blue, that like powder blue.
I think that's the thing Spiros doesn't like about it.
Really?
Is that you, Spiros? I think it does need to be a little bit more vibrant.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to take me on as like color consultant, I'll be more than
Yeah.
Not that I haven't already lent my talents to you with Colossus.
Yep. Vote teal.
Vote for teal.
Yeah. Look, I personally think maybe the grey should be a little bit darker as well, but we'll see what they come up with. I haven't heard anything. I do know they're going to send me another sample out of the refined colors when it happens. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Can you tell at some point during your Adventures of Nerding, can you explain to people, myself included, how you got this hookup?
Well, hard work and determination, Apathy. I think it. Look, basically, I got into toy photography because I got an Instagram account, and at the time I was like, what the fuck is Instagram for? Why do we need another social media platform that basically has less features than Facebook? That's what I thought of Instagram when I first got it.
Me too. At first.
And then, as you slowly build up followers and you start following people. Like, I fell in with the Realm of Collectors crowd, I guess, but back then it was called something else. So we started this little kind of movement called Decepticon Click, and it was just a whole bunch of people who collected Transformers, and we just started this little community. And it was all about Decepticons, you know. So it was all of us evil bastards, and it just went from there, man. Like, I just started taking photos of toys, and then I eventually bought myself, you know, I was just snapping pics with my phone, and I eventually bought a DSLR, just a basic model Canon DSLR, and you know, all of a sudden my photos got a little bit better, so I got more enthusiastic about it, and I started taking more photos, and then I upgraded to the next model up. I think my original was a 700D, and then I upgraded to a 80D, and now I have a 5D, a 5DSR, which is like pro level. It's a fucking amazing camera.
It's a good camera.
Yeah, dude, I
have a friend who has one of those, and he swears by it. Yeah.
So look, I just kept taking photos of toys over and over and over. I mean, I've done some stuff for Make Toys as well, and Fans Project. They sent me a toy. They sent me one of those like lady dinosaur things, which I took photos of and then sold. But I got a few things off Make Toys for a while, which was nice. But then I just somehow I started talking to a couple of the designers from MMC, and it all just went from there. Like, I just got introduced to the head honcho, and then all of a sudden I was running the Planet Steel Express Facebook page, and I suggested, you know, like the giveaway as a way to boost. Basically, it's just a tool to boost numbers to the page. We give away a toy once a month. So everybody that gets tagged and gets a little bit annoyed, it's just one notification. It's just one notification on your Facebook feed. There's probably nothing to get triggered over. And I'm sorry, but look, we're giving away a fucking toy. Like, it really doesn't hurt anyone at all.
Still name to come up.
A couple of months ago, I dragged out Justin Linnett's name from the fucking drawer, and I'm like, holy shit! All right, somebody I know gets a fucking toy, so that was cool. But
that's very good.
This month I'll continue on with what I got, I guess. I got the Nitro, which is Override / what's the other name for the character?
Nitro Convoy.
Nitro Convoy. Right.
Get out of here with that Override crap.
Look, I was never really into that era of Transformers, but I've got to say the paint on that thing is like, just the color palette on that thing is beautiful. It's one of my favorite toys that I've got a chance to photograph in the last year, really. It just pops, like the translucent wheels, everything about that thing I find cool.
Hey, Leonard, really quick. Did the convention that's going to be in the U.S. already pass?
I think it's this weekend just gone.
Okay, so it should be popping up on Planet Steel Express pretty soon then?
Well, perhaps.
Any leftovers?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows what could happen?
I'm pissed. I'm pissed I missed that. So
when is this episode going to
air? Probably. Okay, so it's probably going to have already been listed by the time this is published.
Maybe. Look, there is a good chance that there will be more. I think they released. How many was it to start off with? It was something low, like 50, I believe.
Oh, they're taking a page out of Make Toys' book.
Well, I don't think they wanted to saturate the market with it, because I don't know exactly, but I assume that some kind of deal was made to make it an exclusive at this con that's just gone, the Cybercitycon.
Oh yeah.
And I guess if they'd saturated the market before that convention, then there was no exclusivity to it.
Okay.
So
I see what you're saying.
I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, I don't think it's a marketing ploy so much. Like, at the end of the day, Planet Steel Express is just a really small part of MMC sales. They're not trying to corner the market. If that's what anyone's thinking, it benefits MMC more to have their toys in every single online store, because just purely for exposure.
That makes sense.
So it's not in any way like you have to come and buy this from Planet Steel Express, like to get your hands on it. I don't think that was ever the intention.
Okay.
Because
Well, maybe it should be. Maybe you need to hook me up with these guys so we can have a business conversation.
yeah.
So this coming weekend, the weekend of my birthday, FYI. So
Subtle.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Look, I don't know how many are going to be left, or if there's another production run. I don't have that information, but I would assume that some will start going up, and perhaps not just on Planet Steel Express. It could be everywhere. They could have it listed on BBTS and you know, all of the regular online stores, from the big guys down to the small guys. So,
Yeah,
but okay, like,
yeah,
I gotta say, man, the chance to actually, like, because they sent me two. I bought one, they sent me one. And the chance to photograph that for a convention was pretty cool. Like, when I saw the photos go up on the Facebook page and the website for Cybercitycon, I was like, oh, cool, I did that. It's just like a nice.
It's a good hookup, man. It's a good hookup because they're a great manufacturer. They're like top tier, so that's what's up.
Lenny, are you still doing the one of each for the MMCs, or are you?
Oh man, I don't have the space for that. Like, it was killing me, man. I was like, all right, I got to buy another $1,000 cabinet now because I bought 4 toys and now my cabinet's full. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, 5 Carnifexes, 6 shots. Like,
Jeez.
it just was nuts. It was nuts, man. Like, when it was all said and done, like, at that one point where I had every multiple of everything that I'd put out, except for like the Shadow 6-shot and the prototype one, because that'd be ridiculous. Right. Even though Mr. Bobby Skullface was like, "You're cheating. You're not doing it properly." But at the time when I had multiples of everything displayed on a shelf, it was fucking beautiful, man. But
It was, I remember that one video that you put up where you were showing off the collection. I was like, whose store is this? Like,
yeah. Well, that was around the time I started talking to the boss of MMC, and he's like, "Dude, you have a fucking better collection than our showroom." And I was like, "That's pretty cool. I like that."
That's a way to get his attention, Spiros.
Yeah. I'll just keep criticizing their colors in every social media platform.
Yeah.
Until he takes notice of me.
Well, he probably has. You're probably just pissing him off.
No, well, they ended up going with the teal shoulders on Colossus. So
don't encourage him.
Yeah. I triggered that guy on TFW to the point that he created that poll. Like,
Yep.
hashtag vote for teal.
Yep. What else did I get? I got my so this is probably since I was on the show as well, but months and months and months ago, Botfest was on in Singapore, and they did the you know how they have the custom paint classes at conventions. I think it was the Toronto TFCon. They did the Guerrilla Commander out of the Seraphicus core.
The Primal.
Yep, the Primal. So this Singapore convention, Botfest, they did a what's the White Tigertron? Is that what it's called? The White Tiger. I'm not a Beast Wars guy at all, but I do like the idea of like new molded parts, and then you get to customize something. So I have a buddy I call him Drexel because he looks exactly like Drexel out of True Romance. I think Bobby actually coined that name for him. But he lives on the Gold Coast, which is about an hour away from me. He's one of my good friends. He's actually a chef as well. But he has a ridiculous Gundam collection. And this guy can paint like a motherfucker. So I commissioned him to do the Gorilla Commander one for me, which came out fucking beautiful. I love the paint on that thing. And so I also got him to do this Tigatron for me, which I don't think the mold really lends itself too much to the character, but at the end of the day, it's still it's just fucking cool. Like, I don't know how any other way to explain it. So it comes with a new molded head, and this one only came with guns. The primal came with like a rifle, the arm blasters, and swords. This one just came with like blasters that strap onto his wrist. So I got my buddy Drexel to it's like a clear green that he painted over the swords that came with Seraphicus Promenon. And so they still glow in the dark, which I find really cool. So now they glow green. But look, it came up beautiful, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Amazing. That must look really, really nice.
Yeah. So happy with that one. I'm guessing there's gonna be a theme now at conventions for the custom classes. Maybe they'll just do Beast Wars characters out of the if they keep doing an MMC reformatted custom class. I'm guessing they'll just do some more Beast Wars stuff. So we could see a rat trap out of the Calidus mold, or we could see, none of it fits. It's more, I guess, pre-Beast Wars, if there were robots before they were beasts. If you want to look at it that way, but so it's pre-formatted.
I can hear Bobby's teeth grinding, from here.
Yeah.
Like at the thought of more molds getting shoved into other characters.
Yeah, well, this shit isn't mass produced. You don't have to buy it. And at the end of the day, you don't have to buy any of the other repaints if you don't want to. You listening,
There you
Bobby?
go. Exactly. Amen.
So, yeah, look. So that came up good. And then recently I have picked up the Eta Beta, which is their Deadlock. And I've got to say, an even better use of that wing mold that they've got. So I think once the drift colors are over the top of this thing, people are going to go fucking nuts for it. People are going nuts for this Deadlock.
Dude,
I posted up that giveaway and went to bed. I posted it up at about 1 o'clock in the morning my time, and I got up for work at 8, and it already had 240 comments. So
Wow.
one comment basically equals one entry. So yeah, a lot of people want this thing. I don't think it has come up at any other stores yet.
I don't think so.
No, I think it's only shipped from PSX.
Yeah, because I had Brian Roland Steele. He commented on my Instagram, and he's like, when does this thing come out? And I'm like, dude, it's out. Like, it's shipped 2 weeks ago. So I'm guessing it'll pop up on the other stores pretty soon. But it's nice, man. It's fucking cool.
Lenny, is that red gun just a standard thing, or is it a PSX?
No, that's the exclusive.
Okay.
Look, I can probably ask if I can get you one if you don't want to pick it up from PSX, but you should pick it up from PSX because you'd already have it by now.
I know, but I'm slacking on my pre-order game.
Yeah. I don't know. I got ahead with my pre-orders. I was never a pre-order guy. Back in the day when I was buying everything, I used to buy off Tony, Chimongmong, and he'd just message me like, "You want this? You want this? You want this?" And I'd just tick the boxes of what I wanted. He'd put everything aside for me that was third party when it would come in, basically. So I never had to pre-order anything. And when I just decided to go with reformatted only, which is going to change soon, I think I'm going to start picking up everything MMC. So I have to fill out,
Breaking news.
those 5 Mirage repaints, and yeah. So look, I like most of those toys. I've had a play with the Inferno mold. I've never owned it. The Mirage is beautiful. Like I've had like 3 different versions of that. And then I sold them, but I think I'm gonna pick them all up again. I've had a mess around with the version of the Cosmos, which was nice. And I think from watching reviews, I think all 3 of those Cosmos that came out, I think who made them? There was a Toy World one and a KFC or X Transbots, right? And then MMC.
X-Trans, yep.
And I don't like, from watching reviews, none of them really stand out as being perfect. Like each one has a feature that is nicer than the other. And then they all may have their slight faults, but I don't think of any of those they're bad. So I'm gonna pick up the MMC one because he was one of my favorite toys as a kid. Like that was that toy that I carried around in my pocket all the time. I think I had Cosmos in one pocket and Warpath in the other. So I think I'll pick him up and just fill out my shelves a little bit more. I only unpacked my Mech Ideas stuff a week ago. So
What scale are those guys in, the Mech Ideas ones?
well, they're basically reformatted scale. I think most of them were designed by the same people, like back in the day. I think Cassie Sark worked on that stuff. I'm not 100%. I know he worked on the fucking the twins, the top spin and twin twist. I know he had something to do with those. So I mean, they're a little bit more basic.
I made you buy those again, Lenny.
Pardon?
I'm sorry I spurred you to collect all the Mech Ideas stuff that one like month period.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I need everything.
You're like, yep. And I was like, all right, here's the twins. Like, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I think that was because around that time Well was coming out, and I already had Roadbuster and I had Impactor, and I was like, all right, I want to kind of get some kind of Wreckers.
You might as
together.
well.
So,
at that point, you might as well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope they do make more Wreckers. There was that little Guzzle teaser, but I don't know if they'll do it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's too long gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could ask about it, but I'm not sure whether it would be worth their time. He's such a minor character that most people probably wouldn't bother picking it up. And by the time you've paid for packaging and printing the comics and instructions, and you're probably going to lose money, to be honest.
I don't know. There's people who are still holding on to their pre-orders for that GCI Toys Gulper.
Yeah.
You guys,
wow, that was announced a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah, like what, 3 years ago or something?
Yeah.
Has it been that long? Jeez.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, if you go into that thread in TFW, there's like people who paid like 2 years ago or something like that.
I think look, if that comes out, I may pick that up actually, because he's done little add-on things for MMC toys before that came out okay. So
and some that didn't come out so okay.
Well, look, I don't have those the claws that he made for Feral Rex.
Those are top notch. The ones for Feral Rex.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting those.
That was what, Dr. Killinger? Is that what those were?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I got those.
And I just have the ones that slide over, the ones that came with that was like a separate add-on kit, and then it came with like G1 looking weapons for individual modes and the shoulder pieces for Razor Claw.
Yep, I have those guns. Even though Even though I don't have my Feral Rex anymore, I still have those guns because I knew I'd never be able to acquire them again.
Yeah. So they came out all right. The little slide-on claws are fine, I guess, but I would like the pinned ones. I just feel like it's more of a solid toy.
Yeah, it's tricky getting those pinned ones on. I actually had to get like 3 replacement fists from MMC.
Oh, really?
Because I kept cracking.
Wow.
I kept cracking the fingers when I would drive the pin in, and then I figured out that you had to either heat them up with a air gun or boil a cup of water in a microwave,
Right.
and dip them in there so they'd shrink.
Right. I mean, this guy, my buddy Drexel, that's been customizing these toys, he's got a pin pusher, so
Oh, nice.
he completely dismantles these things and sprays them up and then puts them back together. So he could probably do it for me if I ended up picking them up.
Nice.
I don't even have my Feral Rex displayed combined though, so I don't know. Maybe one day. I think
wanted
that's
to-
most of my nerdom when it comes to toys. Oh, I picked up a Lament configuration Rubik's Cube, which I thought
I saw it
pretty
on
neat.
on your Instagram just now.
Yeah.
I saw it. Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. And I got like a really, really cheap die-cast DeLorean from Back to the Future for Christmas. But I got it like a month late. My boss bought it for me. I think it was like $20. But the detail is fucking great. Like, the doors open up and it's got the flux capacitor inside and it's got the cable you can attach to the top. Like, it's a cool toy. I'm gonna do some photos of it. Just sometimes a company will put out a $20 toy where you're just like, well, all these other big companies not even throwing some paint on their toys, and you've got this $20 super detailed fucking release. I can't even tell you who made it. I know it's licensed, but I'm not sure who made it.
What scale is it?
I'm not great on my scale. The cars are about the same size as the new drift mold that came out from MMC, which you don't have. So basically it would scale with with a reformatted vehicle, maybe slightly bigger.
It's like 132, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Like, it's not the same scale. Like, I used to have a lot of die-cast cars when I was a kid. Like, I used to have Porsches and Ferraris and stuff. It's not as big as that, but it's not that much smaller. So,
Yeah, I think the ones you're talking about are like 118 scale, right? Or 116?
Yeah.
116?
1/16th, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's probably 132 or 32, because a Matchbox or a Hot Wheels like 64, right? So somewhere,
it'd be somewhere there.
somewhere in
It's
that
pretty neat. I'll get some photos later, and I just every time I get some spare time, MMC put a new toy out. So it's like my work has been fucking nuts lately. Like, I've been pulling 70-hour weeks sometimes. So
Jesus.
finding time to actually get photos of this stuff is the biggest struggle for me right now. And of course, I have no fucking technology at the moment, so editing them is a nightmare because I don't actually edit my photos on my computer. I do it on my phone.
Wow.
There's a program called Pixlr, which, look, I probably should have learned how to use Photoshop back in the day, but I think because I've used this program for so many photos now, I've just learned little tricks that I can make it do what I need. Like, at the end of the day, it does everything I need. So I've just become so comfortable with the program. And then, because at the moment I'm using a $50 phone that I bought from a supermarket, it's almost a burner phone, you know what I mean? While I wait to get my new S8 when they finally ship the fucking thing. So I just, the program I use to edit my photos is online, but it doesn't have as many features as the app that you use on your phone, which I find ridiculous.
And what is it called again? Pixlr?
Pixlr. So Pixlr,
Okay.
or Pixlr Express. So that's what I use. It's an Android app, but they also have a website which you can go on and then edit your photos. And it does everything you need except if you're online, because it doesn't have eraser tools. So basically, I can edit my photos and then erase the photo back, some parts of the photo back to the original, if that makes sense. I'm not very savvy when it comes to Photoshop terminology, I guess, because I do what works for me, and that's enough. Um, but so I went and bought a tablet, a secondhand tablet, until my new phone came, and I thought it would help me get through the process, but just a laggy piece of shit. It's like a Galaxy Tab 2, 10-inch, and I kind of want to throw it at the wall.
Wow.
So, but I think I should have my new phone by the end of the week. So then
What
everything
phone are
will
you
be better.
getting?
Well, I had a S8 Plus. So they're just gonna send me another one of those.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a good phone. Good phone.
It's a good phone, except my screen just died, man. Like I don't even know what happened. My screen just fucked out, and it wouldn't display things. So I told the insurance company I lost it and reported it to the police. And I hope nobody listens to this and
I was just
tells
ready
them.
to say.
Yeah, or else I'm gonna go to jail for fraud. No, I'm sure it's fine. So yeah, that's my adventures of nerding in the last 6 years since I've been on Detox.
I
So
like that every time it just keeps getting higher and higher.
yeah,
No, 6 years.
yeah, you've been around for a while.
Ugh.
How about you, Tyler? How's your adventure of nerding?
Actually, man, when was the last time I was on? I think it was the episode where I said I was out, right?
Yeah.
I think it was. So yeah, obviously I watched that dumb Cloverfield movie.
Amazing movie.
Man, I think that might be it. Nerd TV wise, I mean, we started, wife and I started watching Blue Bloods, which it's all right. It's a cop show based in New York City for anybody who even
Yeah, it's
cares.
not bad. It's not bad. I started watching that a while back. It's not bad.
It's got Magnum PI in it, so
Mhm.
the handsome man that he is.
Tom
Um,
Selleck.
Tom Selleck, yeah, there you go. So I mean, it's okay. It's got Donnie Wahlberg in it, so it's all right. Um, I think that might be it, man. I tried watching a Harry Potter movie with the kids after going to Harry Potter World. That didn't really work out. I fell asleep. I just can't get into it, man. I just think it's one of those things like it's past our generation. That might be it. Toy wise, I don't remember what I told you guys I got in the way of hot toys. So I
Well,
guess
when you told us you were getting a Hot Toys, you said you were only gonna do the good guys.
so that has failed horribly. So right now I have 12 plus 2 on pre-order, so that's probably not bad for about 3 weeks of collecting hot toys, right? Um,
I have to just jump in here. What happened, man? What happened to you?
I
Like,
just
is this like, so back in the day when I decided to sell all my shit and just go MMC, like that was my midlife crisis, according to I believe it was probably Greg or Matt or maybe Robert on Shadowcast.
mhm.
So, is this your midlife crisis? Is that what's happening?
I hope not, cause I'm kind of young for midlife. I just man, it just came to a point like I just lost the passion for it, man. Like and
Dude, I know exactly what you're saying. I
so
know
I
exactly.
mean, besides being well, I can plug it. So I drove down to Maryland, met up with Bobby and Pink, and we did a I don't know what he's calling them, skull affairs might be what he's calling them. I don't know. He had a couple different names, but go and check it out. It's on Bobby's YouTube page. It was a good time, but we actually got into some in-depth questions between him, Chris, Ballora, and then the YouTubers since we did it live, and then I did Breaking the Mold last week with Jose, and he hit me up wanting to know if I'd be on. And it was a good time with all those guys. So that was really good. Kind of went through. They kind of got second after what they watched Bobby sing, and then came up with additional questions. So it was good, man. Like I just lost the passion for it. I got sick of dealing with Joe,
The thrill is gone.
average Joe Transformer guy, and
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yep.
sounds elitist.
Yeah,
you know what, man? I mean
I
don't,
like it. I like it.
I mean, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I mean, for the
No,
most
do it.
part,
Do it. Go full dick. Do it.
the amount of stinky fatties on the bell curve is growing exponentially. And then when
It
you
is.
and then when you and then when you times that with the dirty KO lovers, like I just I just
Don't
lost my passion for it.
don't worry, Tyler. Dick cancer has destroyed.
It has a life.
Well,
There was like a mass exodus of people from Legions because
Yeah, man.
Catfish from TKO posted some fucked up memes, and people were like, "That's it. I've had enough. I can't deal with this shit." And like, it's so funny because they're like, "Legions used to be good." I was like, "Legions was never good."
Legions has always been the cesspool of Transformer collecting on Facebook.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's-
always
Right.
been the shit posting place.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of always been the be all catch all, right? It's kind of like that sewer drain. You really don't want to touch it or pick it up. You just kind of like look in it, and you know that it's just a cesspool. But it is fun.
Your dick cancer has taken off. It's given. It's
I
a life,
know.
Life of its own.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what's
it
funny,
is.
man? And I love it. And I actually had a couple people PM me, and they're like, "Have you seen how much the dick cancer joke from Toy Detox has caught on?" I'm like, "I'm well aware." And
Motherfucker, that joke didn't start off in Toy Detox. I'm just gonna put that out there. That shit started
Oh,
in
really?
Third Party Addicts. Yeah, it did.
Really?
Yeah, it
I never
did.
knew that.
Yeah.
dick cancer? Are you sure?
Positive.
Hmm.
Now, did Tyler start it?
It's alright, Tyler. I'll let you have this one. I'll let you have it.
Okay.
But I also enjoy that it's just been taken on by everyone now. That's the most common insult to somebody that collects KOs now. It's great.
Well, and it's good. And like the funny thing is like when you go all triggerly puff on it, and you get pissed off at it, that just shows me that you know what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
And you're upset that somebody's calling you on it. So, but it was good. It was good. It was a lot of fun. Both shows. So shout out to both of those. And then in the way of hot toys, so it started with that Darth Vader pre-order, and it kind of all went down from hill from there. So I picked up Luke, Leia, and Han, and Obi-Wan from A New Hope. I picked up, and the Sand Trooper from A New Hope. I picked up Yoda, and okay, I'm not gonna try to go with movies. I'm just gonna call them off. So I got Luke, Leia, Han, Obi-Wan, Chewie, R2, a Sand Trooper, a 2-pack of Stormtroopers, and I got like my quote first Grail piece, which is the Bespin Luke 2-pack. So you actually get him before and after. So you get before when he shows up to Cloud City, and you get after Vader gets done beating his ass and he's missing an arm and he's bloody and his clothes are all torn up. So
All right.
comes with
Nice.
comes with the antenna. So when he's hanging off the bottom of Cloud City, like it comes with that whole thing. It lights up like it's amazing.
When
Uh,
he's crying like a little bitch, you mean that scene?
yep, that scene. So,
Yeah.
and then I think that's all of them. And then I pre-ordered the Emperor with the throne that just went up. So that'll be great when I see it next year. So,
Right? So you have a year of anticipation.
well, see, and it's funny, man. Like that's kind of one thing I feel like I'm missing from Transformers now. Like I don't get that anticipation anymore. Like, and I don't know if it's we used to get the silhouettes and they tease it, and then it was the outline, and then it was and I know a lot of people hated that, but I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Like,
I did too.
like it just kept. It was like a warm up, right? Like it just kept getting you closer and closer and closer. But
Like
Uh,
I know the
I
exact
like the
feeling
fourth
you
one.
got because I had the same thing. I was just like, I'm buying every new character that comes out, and 80% of the time I was disappointed with it. Like I got it, and like I think it was a lot of the KFC X Transbots stuff. To be honest, like their Wind Charger mold and their Arcos, the
yeah, the
I,
Beachcomber.
I just all of that stuff that was coming out. I'm like, all right, I don't have that character. I have to get it, and I'm just spending this money, and then I'd open it up, and it'd be a fucking arsehole to transform, and I'd take a photo of it, put it on the shelf, and be done with it. And I was like, all right, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
and that's really what it's like. And it just became checking names off of a list. You know what I mean? It wasn't enjoying.
yeah,
It wasn't enjoying the figures, and I wasn't taking pictures of them. I wasn't doing really anything else with them besides getting them, opening them, posing them, and setting them on the shelf.
yeah,
Where like already with these hot toys, man, like I keep picking them up, messing with them, especially like the stormtroopers, and just putting them in stupid poses. And like,
do you play dress ups? Do you change outfits? Do you put Luke in like the slave Leia outfit or anything like that? Li- little bit
no,
of fan fiction.
no, but let me get on eBay and see if there's a custom bronze bikini. Uh,
Here we go.
yeah, I don't know if you heard Lenny, but like there was a moment where I almost checked out. So the guy who sold me this Bespin 2-pack, he was like, "Hey man, like
Yeah.
there's a little mark on the jacket. You may want to check it out." And I was like, "Okay." And like I looked at it and I was like, "Let me just get him a new one." So because there's these guys that get them and basically like break down the sets and then sell them. Like they just sell it
Yep.
that they parted out, right? So I get on
Yep.
there, I ordered the jacket, and I was like, "Cool." So it comes and it comes in like a padded mailer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is strange. So I open it and I reach inside and I pull out this like Ziploc baggie, and there's this little itty bitty jacket inside of
Aw,
this plastic bag. And I almost checked out for a moment. I had to like ask myself, is this really what I want to do with my life right now?
yeah.
36 year old, man, I can't even talk right now. 36 years old, and I just bought a replacement jacket off eBay for my Luke Skywalker.
No.
But
Tyler, Tyler was contemplating asking his wife how to get wrinkles out of tiny clothing.
we have a steamer. I could have steamed it out, but no, it's like
He
all,
did.
like no, I didn't. like like all kidding aside, but it's funny, man. Like you want to talk about some elitists and like some next level shit. Like some of these guys and their 1/6 scale collections are insane,
Yeah.
insane. I'm
Look,
talking.
every fandom has its elitists, and are there KO versions of these hot toys?
They have a recasting issue is kind of the problem.
Right.
But you don't really see too many KOs. At least I'm not seeing them yet.
Well, maybe you've got a few. You just don't know.
Oh no, I've done my due diligence, sir.
Yeah. Good.
Tyler's inspecting all his hot toys under a jeweler's eye.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I have
Right.
I have a jeweler's loop. But no, like it's good. Like I'm enjoying it thus far, and I'm looking into like cabinetry now. Not
Nice.
like I don't want to go Detox. Like it's funny, man. I've been looking at some of these trophy cases, and I think
Mhm.
think that's the way I'm gonna go.
Dude, just find something along the lines of what I have. I think Hot Toys would displaying that stuff really nice.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. Like these things are like all glass, pre lit. They're pretty much 3 or 4 shelves, depending on how many you want to put in there, and then like the bottom 18 inches is like all like cabinetry, so storage purposes,
Yep.
pretty much. So,
Yep.
but it's good. Like I'm enjoying it. So I just got to figure out what I'm gonna do, display wise, and pull the trigger on a cabinet, and I'll be good.
So you're actually selling all of your Transformers, or are you keeping some?
So I've gone through phase one. I got a couple left. Once I get through this, I got to go to my office. It's in Jersey that I hardly ever go to, and go pull out what's ever left. Which is like there's a few make toys. Most of my MMC stuff is in that office. There's some older like Chug slash kind of like third party, that kind of scale in there.
Like your fans project kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
like there's some fans project, like a bunch of recolors, like my fans toys Quake Waves are all there, like all of them.
Yep.
So I mean, there's some other stuff in there. I don't know. I need to get down there and sort out. I'm actually moving out of that office anyway, so it's giving me a reason to go down there and collect all that stuff. But I got to figure out I'm gonna keep some of it. I just don't know what extent yet. So
Tyler, I'm just gonna start randomly sending you odd amounts of money through PayPal, like $3, $5, $8. I'm gonna build up a tab, so once you decide to sell your MMC, I've already prepaid for half of it.
That's a good idea, sir. That's an excellent idea.
Tell like because the way my Lyft pays out, driving for Lyft, it goes to my PayPal account because I linked to my PayPal debit card. So I'm gonna get done with a long trip that pays out like $40, and then I'm just gonna be like, send that over to Tyler.
Yep.
that's funny.
How much of your MMC stuff do you need to replace, Spiros?
Everything except for Supernova Hexatron,
Yep.
Original Hexatron, Seraphicus. I just got Spartan back. I'm in talks to get a Comatose, which I'm getting that for a good price too. So I've gotten lucky on getting some of this shit back. And then I have the Shadow Ghost Calidus and the Asterisk Calidus,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much have to get everything else back.
Well,
I have
send
to
me a
get back,
list.
like, the Nero, the Feral, like Carnifex, the DJD, like all the Fems, which is gonna fucking bend me over hard.
Yeah.
I thought you were into films bending you over hard, man.
I don't know.
Hey.
But those accounts are all wrong. Terribly, terribly overstated.
Pretty sure I've seen video, but anyway, go ahead.
Nah, if you'd seen video, Tyler, you'd be blind, and then you wouldn't be admiring your Hot Toys. Or actually, maybe you would. Maybe you would, because then you'd have to rely on your sense of touch to appreciate them.
All those fabrics.
You'd be like, "Oh, the stitching is exquisite."
You know what's funny though? All the ones everything I've gotten out so far, it's all like I haven't got out any soft good stuff. It's all like the Troopers and R2 for right now.
Yeah, that trooper you just posted into the chat looks fucking cool.
Yeah, man, he's fucking awesome.
Tyler's still holding on to the idea that he's just collecting large action figures and not dolls.
They are large action figures. Although my wife has found it quite humorous to start calling them dolls. So she asked me the other day. She's like, "So do you have doll friends?" I'm like, "What do you mean doll friends?" She's like, "You have Transformer friends. Do you have doll friends?" And I'm like,
Doll friends.
Actually, all your doll friends are ditching their Transformers to become
Yeah.
full doll friends.
and yeah. So she was giving me a hard time about it, and she's like, "It'll be cute. You guys can all get together and play dollies." I'm like, "Thanks, dear."
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have to buy one big ass dollhouse to fit them all in. Have tea parties.
Oh
Well,
God, a Hot Toys Death Star? Jeez.
Yep. Yep.
the size of your house. Yeah, like I
Are
can't.
you gonna pick up that Hot Toys Millennium Falcon?
Oh,
They made that, right?
yeah, the one.
There's like some huge fucking $3,000 thing,
Well,
or perhaps more.
they made a 1/6 scale one, and it was on display at some show, and that's all I can remember really find about it. Like it was at some sort of convention over there, and they did a Millennium Falcon, a TIE Fighter, and an X-wing,
Yeah.
and I don't think it ever went to retail. Like I was reading somewhere somebody said they made 10 of them, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
Well, if you're gonna go in, you might as well go balls deep. Just go full.
Might as well.
It's the
Take
size.
it all the way.
Yeah.
It's the size of.
I mean, you're making that sneaker money. It's not like you can't afford that shit.
It's the size of a car. What am I gonna do?
Well, you just
kick my
buy a
wife.
bigger house. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I live in Jersey, man. I can't afford a bigger house anymore.
Just buy a second house just for your dolls.
Yeah, Tyler, buy a dollhouse, like a literal
Yeah,
doll.
Literal dollhouse. Word.
All right, you guys are out of control. And then what else did I get? I got the Matty Collector Thundercats. I got Lionel and Mumra.
Oh, sweet. Okay. How are they?
I'm out already. I got those two. I thought I wanted them. I got them in hand. I looked at them and I was like, nope,
Not so much, huh?
no.
Hey, what's the main character's name, Tyler?
Lionel?
Okay, it sounded like you were saying Lionel, and I was like,
No,
is he singing hello while you're selling him?
no. Lion-O. It even says it right on the box.
Oh, no, it's just the way you were saying it.
Oh,
It sounded
no.
like you were saying Lionel.
No, Lion-O.
Okay.
And then I bought that Voltron from Spiros. Have you shipped that by the way?
No, today's Monday, sir, and I was busy.
You're a terrible seller. Okay, I see how it is.
But I'm a great father because this weekend was all about my daughter.
Well, you're making me be a worse father because I told my kids that there's a Voltron on the way for them.
Oh,
And there will be maybe after this show.
So they'll leave my SOC alone. I think that's it, man. I think that's all I got. So it's been good though. All right, do you guys want to talk about this Venom trailer?
Sure.
yeah. The one that I saw like right before we started and was like thoroughly unimpressed.
Well,
But-
I mean, Lenny's kind of our Marvel fanboy. I mean, do you want to give an opinion on it, Lenny?
Oh, way to bring up all of those tortured, repressed memories of mine. Thanks. Look, I don't even really know that Venom character that they're doing because they're doing Agent Venom, right?
I don't think so.
Makes
I
sense?
don't think so. I think it's Eddie Brock, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed
It's
to
Eddie
be.
Brock.
it's-
Yeah.
I think it's a mixture of both. Just the way that they're portraying Eddie Brock is a lot more Agent Venomish. I've been told. As I say, I don't really know the character that well, but they're certainly not doing the Eddie Brock that I know. Look, I'm looking forward to the film because I think that the Spider-Man Homecoming they did great, and it just had just enough to tie it into the Marvel universe. I'm trying to figure out how this trailer ties it into the Marvel universe. I think the suit might be picked up by some kind of crashed either Shatari thing or perhaps something straight out of the Infinity War. Maybe it's one of those big machines that Thanos brings to Earth and it crashes down and then it's got some kind of symbiote creature that somehow gets attached to this Eddie Brock. It's obviously not the Spider-Man gets a suit on Secret Wars and then fucking goes to a bell tower to get rid of it and the whole bit. Like, that's not what they're doing. Um, they could be doing the what was it called? The Planet of the Symbiotes or something. Is that what it was called? And basically Venom is like a mutant in there. He's the only symbiote creature that is like the way he is. And then you've got all of these other ones. So they could be going down that road. I've heard that Carnage is in this one,
Really?
and
Yeah, I've
also
heard the same thing too.
also that Woody Harrelson has signed on to this film. So if he's actually Carnage, that might be like we're gonna have natural born killers crossed with Marvel, which would be pretty fucking, in my opinion, because that's one of my favorite films. But
That would be epic.
yeah, I just want to see the suit, man. Like, if I know they do the suit well, like this guy who's playing Venom, I don't think I've seen any films that he's in, but everyone tells me he's a great actor.
Did you not?
So,
Did you
You didn't
not?
see
The last
Dark Knight.
Batman?
no,
Really?
really, I hate Batman.
Wow.
Did you see The Revenant?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Um,
it's funny. Have you guys seen the trailer that they took the snippets from Batman? So it's Tom Hardy doing the Bane voice over the Venom trailer.
oh no.
Dude, it's much better because he's like, "I was born out of the darkness." Like it's good. Like it matches up really well to it.
For the people.
I'm gonna I'll find it and I'll put it up on the Toy Detox page. But yeah, it's good. Anyway,
Uh,
keep keep going.
yeah, look, I don't know how they're going to make it all fit. Apparently, Tom Holland has been spotted on set, so there is going to be some kind of tie to Spider-Man, which it needs to have, as long as it's not the same kind of way they did it in Spider-Man 3, because that was horrendous.
Well, that was Topher Grace made that horrendous.
I don't know if it was Topher Grace or the suit or the director or what it was. I think it was just a combination of all of those things.
I think it was Tobey Maguire's eyeliner.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's my question too. Is like, how are they going to get the symbiote to take on the characteristics of the spider, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know.
Is he gonna shoot webs? Like, is he gonna stick to walls? Like, I'm not sure how it's all gonna work. If there isn't some direct tie to the symbiote attaching itself to Spider-Man first, like that's how it acquired those powers.
Man, I think somehow they're gonna tie this into Avengers. I really do. I could see it being like a cut scene at the end of the movie, like they're picking up pieces or whatever, and you see Tom Holland pick something up, and you see like the symbiote on the bottom of it. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have somehow. They're gonna have to tie it in. I just
Yeah.
can't figure out how they're gonna do it. I mean, it would be cool to see him in the black suit in Infinity War, but
Well, he's already in a new suit in Infinity War though, so I doubt they'll have him in two new suits if one film.
well, I mean, they could give him the black suit in the beginning and then have him ditch it and then come up with the Iron Spider suit, which is what it looks like.
Maybe. There is a scene in the Venom trailer where you've got that business guy, and he's like they open up what looks like the back of a truck, and there's two cylinders that both have symbiotes in them, which makes me think they're doing that. Was it called Planet of the Symbiotes, or what was it called?
That sounds right.
I'm not sure, but there was a storyline where there were like five symbiotes, and it kind of was more of an origin of the symbiote more so than it ever been like from Secret Wars or Venom.
I think that is right because isn't that
Was
where
Max
where
Carnage where they had like all the different symbiotes?
in which one?
Maximum Carnage?
No, Maximum Carnage was just every fucking B-list Marvel character thrown into one 24-issue story arc.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no, wasn't Planet of the Symbiotes when they introduced like Scream and the rest of them?
yeah,
Yeah,
Shriek and
yeah,
yeah,
Shriek. There you go. Yeah, I think it was Planet of the Symbiotes.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I mean, I haven't read a Marvel comic for 10 years now, so
Yeah, but Symbiotes was like that was like mid '90s, man.
was it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't know. I was more of an X-Men guy. I mean, in the end, I was buying every book, and I almost had a full run of Amazing Spider-Man by the end of it, but I didn't have all the little side. At one stage, man, like there's a reason Marvel went bankrupt in the 90s. Like they were putting a book out for every C-list character. Like I think at one stage they had 60 or 70 books coming out a month.
That's crazy.
You know, like there's a reason they went broke. Um, they just went a little bit overboard with we need to have a 4-issue miniseries for this guy, and no, let's make it an ongoing because everyone wants to read stories about Mobius the living vampire. You know, like, they just and I guess a lot of that stuff around that time I didn't bother picking up. Because at that stage I was only buying every X book, which was probably about 15 titles a month, to be honest. Um, the X-Men in the 90s, man, anything they put an X on fucking sold. So I don't know what's the state of Marvel Comics at the moment. I mean, I heard that they weren't actually in many of the top 10 lists.
Not good.
Yeah. Like,
Especially after they were going through their gender swapping.
yeah. I mean, obviously the movies have cornered the market, and I guess that's where they're pumping most of their resources into. But I have never really come across anyone in the last 5 years or so saying, "Holy shit, you know, pick up this Thor book. It's really well written and the art is great." Like, it's just
hear that.
yeah.
That's just it's not happening now. But I was reading about the Venom movie, so just to try and make sure that I understood what it was kind of based off of. So it's confirmed basically that Planet of the Symbiotes and Lethal Protector are the
Right.
two
That's
storylines.
that's the one where that Shriek is in. Is that series?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
that was her first
I
appearance.
do remember Lethal Protector.
Yeah. Soon as you said it, man, it clicked.
Yeah.
So those are the two storylines, the two comics, basically storylines that are going to be the basis for this Venom film.
Damn, Spiro, stop digging for Legos.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We can hear you tussling through the bin, man. Nice try.
But
Alright.
wasn't what in the lethal protector comic, right? Venom was kind of a good guy, wasn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
he was in Planet of the Symbiotes too.
Oh, okay.
Well-
They've always tried to have him kind of sit on the fence with good guy, bad guy, in the same way that the Punisher is a good guy, but he's also a mass murderer. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
You know, like the 90s just spun out a whole bunch of, all right, this, you know, I think it started off pretty much from Wolverine in the whole, when he was Patch living in Madripoor, like he's this badass character, and he's like going
Sort of
around killing all of
anti-hero.
these people, but
Yeah.
but you know, he's still got good intentions, and I think they just jumped on that, and so that's how you got Venom becoming so popular, and the Punisher, and to some extent Cable, and characters like that as well.
Yeah,
So,
all the anti-heroes.
yeah. Speaking of Cable, the Deadpool trailer looks pretty cool.
Dude, he had me dying with Sheriff Deadpool
Yeah.
when he had the little action figure dressed up like Woody from Toy Story.
Right.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And
Kate,
there's that one scene where you see a couple of X-Force characters, which is, I found that pretty cool. I saw a trailer breakdown. I think I watched it last night on YouTube, and it's what's the characters' names? They when they revamped X-Force and basically didn't have any X-Force characters in it anymore, and it was like it was it was kind of a publicity thing. Like they were all celebrity mutants. I think was the main storyline of that, and it had Dupe and um like you've got Terry Crews is in the trailer,
Oh
and
my
I,
goodness.
I missed that.
yeah,
Yeah, me
there's a
too.
bit they're standing at the back of like I think it's some kind of like Air Force jet, and the back opens up and they're all standing at the back. You see Shatterstar is there.
Really?
Um, but in this trailer breakdown, they were basically like, so most of these characters will probably die because it's a Deadpool movie and they're just going to kill off. Like they're kind of B-list characters anyway. But Terry Crews is playing a guy that's I think he secretes acidic sweat. Was the guy's mutant power from the revamped X-Force book back in the day.
Hmm.
So,
Interesting.
I'm gonna have
but
to.
I kind of like Terry Crews. I hope they don't kill him off. Like I'd like to see him in the X-Force film.
No, I mean he's big enough. Like I could see them keeping him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's funny. He's got his own following. You know what I mean.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go pull that up now. That's interesting.
I know, me too. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
I did think the poking of the Superman mustache was pretty funny. Like with
Yeah.
like with the green arm. Like
Hmm.
that that was good.
That was hilarious.
Like it was on the nose, but it was on the nose just enough to be funny without being stupid. Like
Hmm.
it was good.
I don't think it's Deadpool unless it's on the nose. Like the old comic books back in the day. I don't know what the Deadpool comics are like now. I assume they're they're okay. I mean, the character's quite popular, but back in the day, the Deadpool, breaking that fourth wall and everything was on the nose, you know. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was one of the reasons why he's one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe, right? Because he can break the fourth wall.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm really looking forward to I mean I'm going to Black Panther tomorrow night, so I'm looking forward to
Oh,
that.
nice.
But I'm looking forward to the whole Thanos thing with Infinity War. But
Yes. I
dude,
cannot wait
I just want to
for
see
it,
Deadpool
man.
too. I just want to see Deadpool too. Like I find it so strange that Fox finally got it right with Deadpool. Like especially after they did such a horrendous job with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like when they finally got it right, they got it so right. So I'm really looking forward to the second one. And I'm looking forward to potentially now with this whole buyout of seeing some of these characters playing around in the proper Marvel universe eventually. So
Well, see, I heard something today that there's some sort of an issue with the buyout.
yeah, I think it still hasn't
Really?
gone through. There's some kind of monopoly law coming into play where because Disney's bought Marvel, they've bought Star Wars, they've bought other properties. I think there's some kind of law where you just can't buy everything. So
That sucks.
yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't suck in the sense that you kind of need that for, to protect stuff. But, it kind of sucks because it's like, okay. I guess this is one monopoly most of us wouldn't mind having,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I guess.
That's not to say that they couldn't just down the line do some kind of deal the way they have with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right, right, right.
Um, we could see some characters pop up in Fox movies and vice versa. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, same.
Just lease them, right? Just
Yeah.
just pay for it. Either
Yeah.
way, let's make it happen. Let's do a little fan service after how many years and millions of dollars. or billions of dollars, I guess I should say, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
What else is
Billion.
What else is coming out this year? So we have Black Panther, we have Infinity War, we have Deadpool. Is Aquaman
Ant-Man and
this
the
year?
Wasp.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep. Venom. Um,
Which how
there's like one DC film coming out this year to
I think it.
about seven Marvel films or something.
Yeah, I think Aquaman's coming out, right?
Yeah, well, that'll be
Mm-hmm.
great. I hope he rides a seahorse.
That would be funny. Even if it's just like self-deprecating humor, only for a moment. It doesn't have to be serious, but
I still haven't seen Justice League, so
really,
Wow.
I still haven't seen the new Star Wars. I just
Wow.
everyone told me how bad the new Star Wars was, so I just didn't
But
go.
it's not though. But it's
no,
not. That's
it's
the
good.
thing.
It's good.
Yeah, all right.
That's
I'll
not bad
watch
at
it.
all.
I'll watch it.
Like I don't know if you guys saw that thing I posted today, but there was a guy who posted a theory that Luke was dead the whole time, which was an interesting concept. Like because we saw the crashed X-wing, like what if he did die, and it was
Hmm.
his ghost the whole time. It was an interesting take.
Mm.
That's interesting. That is interesting actually, because I didn't even think about that.
But would it be like a sixth sense kind of like he doesn't realize he's dead thing?
Could be.
Because like he was able to like knock Ray on the hand with the feather, or, and all that, or with the plant.
I
I
mean,
know
Spoilers.
Yoda knocked him on the head, but
if Yoda can call down Force lightning as a ghost, why can't Luke?
right.
Yeah. Right.
So
Exactly.
I don't
Oh,
know.
we got Phoenix coming out in November.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that one too.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I gave up on X Men a long time ago.
I was more interested in New Mutants, and they've pushed it back a year. I thought the trailer for that actually looked pretty good.
See,
Yeah,
Bill,
because that's
I haven't
out
seen it yet.
next year. Yeah,
I thought that was under speculation of during the Disney buyout. They pushed out like everything that wasn't scheduled to release this year.
Yeah, something along those lines. I mean, technically, the New Mutants film should also somehow not tie in with Deadpool, but it should somehow lead into X-Force.
Yeah, that's fitting.
I mean, that's what the book hit issue 100, and then the next month or like 3 months later, fucking Liefeld ran with it and they put out X-Force. So they're all walking around on stumps because he couldn't draw feet.
dude,
Uh.
what do you guys think of the Death Wish movie with Bruce Willis? Have you guys seen the trailer for that?
I haven't.
I think I saw a teaser trailer. Was there a teaser out a few months ago?
I don't know. I just saw it during the Super Bowl, and or not during, or around the time of the Super Bowl. But I mean, I saw two trailers. I saw one where it was, like your typical, tragedy strikes this guy, and then he becomes a vigilante, and it just shows, shit blowing up and him shooting people and stuff like that. And then I saw one that was very retro, like it was made in the 70s or 80s, and it's like Bruce Willis is Dr. So-and-so. It's like tragedy strikes, and you see these like red and white letters, like, across the screen, kind of like an old, 80s trailer, and it's like he's got nothing to lose, and he's got a death wish. Like it was an awesome trailer, only for the campiness of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's a remake of Charles Bronson's Death Wish.
It sounds almost like what you just described sounds almost like Oh, what was the name of that one short? Kung Fury, almost. You guys remember that Kung
Yeah,
Fury?
I see where you're coming from on that. Yeah, you know, but the trailer is super campy, and it's like, I don't know. Some people might think it's a little over the top, but I mean, I appreciate a good, you know, ridiculous trailer every now and then.
I haven't
Um, let
seen
me,
that one.
let me see if I can find a link to it.
I'm gonna share the Deadpool trailer breakdown for you guys to watch later too.
Nice.
Um,
So who's going to see Black Panther this week?
me. I'm
I
going
might
after work tomorrow.
I might try to catch a matinee like as early as possible. I'm
Alpha.
just, I don't want to see it like with all the
I'm, I,
crowds because it's gonna
yeah.
be. I hate crowds, like opening night crowds. So I'll definitely be going during like a matinee or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see it. I'm gonna bring my kids. We're all gonna go watch it together. All except for the 3-year-old. She's a little too young still. So
I think that from all the trailers I've seen of it, the Wakanda just looks fucking beautiful. Like it's
mhm.
remember when you saw the first Thor film and like Asgard when they pan down through Asgard and like it flies over the top or and then comes underneath and the whole bit like it's that
Mm-hmm.
whole thing again. Like it's just opening up a whole other part of the Marvel universe. Um, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of reviews and they said that they kind of echoed what you just said, right? In the sense that it's like the world building is so complete, like it's just basically Asgard in Africa, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was what they said. So,
You know what I want
but
to
yeah,
see in a Marvel film? I doubt they'll ever do it, but I'd love to see the Savage Land, man. If they did the Savage
Mm.
Land,
Oh yeah,
like with that Marvel money, that Disney money, holy shit. Like nobody would care about another fucking Jurassic Park film ever.
yeah, they could do it. They could do it. They got enough money, Lord knows.
I'd love to see
But
that.
Well, I mean,
that would be dope.
if Disney can get the X-Men, I mean, when I think Savage Land, like that's what I think of was the X-Men crossovers.
Hmm.
Well, originally it was Kazar, who then Kazar made his first appearance, like the Silver Age Kazar. I think it was like
That,
X-Men fucking uh, it was late 60s, I think. When
hmm.
Kazar was first and then Sauron and the whole bit. Like I guess it's associated with the X-Men, but it doesn't need to be.
I mean, that's what
There's so much more they can do.
I mean, that's what I remember. Like Soren and Mr. Sinister, like all that tie-in.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just thinking back to like '90s comic books and the old X-Men cartoon.
Well, I mean, the Silver Age. I don't know if there was a Golden Age Savage Land. I know there was a Golden Age Kazar, but I think it was more of a different character. Like it's just that Tarzan character.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but he did first appear in the Silver Age was in an X-Men book. But I think around that time the Avengers did go to the Savage Land as well, like back in the Silver Age. So there's ways to do it. Um,
Hmm.
They would have to
there's
introduce the Beyonders too somehow, right? Or I guess they could change the origin.
Yeah, no, look, there's I think there's a whole bunch of origins for how the Savage Land came to be anyway. So they could just pick one that's gonna work and run with it
Yeah,
really.
that's true.
Um, I just like the idea of this hidden land in Antarctica of filled with tropical rainforests and dinosaurs and shit. I just think it would be a fucking cool story to tell.
Would be.
You know who else went to the Savage Land?
Who's that?
Shockwave in the original Marvel comics.
Damn right.
That's how the Dinobots got adult
That's how
modes
the
and-
Dinobots came to be.
Oh yeah. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
That's a
No
deep
doubt.
cut right there.
Yep.
Wow. Can you imagine if they? Oh man, Transformers MCU tie-in. What?
See, and it's so funny when people talk about like Transformers versus whatever superheroes. Like the Transformers only can exist in their own bubble universe because any like Omega level mutant or super would just destroy all the Transformers.
Well, yeah, it would
Yeah.
be just like tearing apart a Sentinel, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You just need Magneto and you're sorted. Done. Or even Polaris would do.
True. Yeah.
No,
Uh.
get Ice. He can just freeze everybody over.
Look, I'm sure they'd find some kind of other variation of Matrix dust that they could sprinkle on themselves so that they were no longer made of metal and blah, blah, blah. And Optimus Prime would come back again.
Yeah, but even then, like Scarlet Witch could blink every Transformer out of existence, like House
Yeah.
of M. You know,
That's true.
Mhm.
That is true.
isn't Iceman considered an Omega level mutant? Like
He
in-
sure
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think almost well, I guess Angel can't really be. I mean, Archangel they've retconned a whole bunch of times, but Iceman, Cyclops, and Marvel Girl Phoenix would all be considered Omega level for sure.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not Beast so much, but yeah, and Professor X of course.
Oh, that's fun, dude. When you said Iceman, it made me think. So the wife and I started watching Smallville too, like old school Smallville.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's funny. So we're in season 1, and the kid who plays Iceman is in one of the episodes, like where a typical C-Dub fashion, like Clark's pulling this kid over a dam, and he's got kryptonite in his bag, and lightning strikes, and his powers go into this kid, and it's a guy who played Iceman, which I thought was funny. And then Amy Adams is in one of these episodes,
Oh yeah.
which is
yep.
really weird. I mean, this was like circa 2001, and then fast forward to when did Man of Steel come out? 13 or 14? Like she's Lois Lane. That's like some crazy foreshadowing. So
Meta. So meta.
it is kind of terrible, though. I'm just saying, it's bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember I think I watched a couple of seasons of Smallville, and I've never been a DC guy, but I remember watching a couple of seasons of Smallville and thinking this is actually not that bad. Like when it was coming out, I remember watching Lois and Clark and just thinking to myself, why are they doing this to their fans?
Oh, Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, Harry Hatcher back then,
Oh damn!
A grade.
I think she's better on Desperate Housewives, man.
Oh no, so there was a little bit too much plastic going on by then.
But hey, we all collect plastic.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I guess she was plastic dressed up in doll clothes. So
Wow. Here we go.
yeah.
Anyway, I think that we're going on over the 2-hour mark. I think we can call it a wrap, and we should.
Jesus. Funny
we-
how time flies when we're having
Wow.
fun. Huh?
Hell yeah! But I think we should regroup after everybody's seen Black Panther and go through a detox commentary type of thing.
Sure, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
for
good.
sure.
That work
Sure.
for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. That's good. All right, Spiros, it's kind of been dubbed on you, man. Do you want to take us out of here? And try not to forget any shows this time.
Oh, jeez. All right. Thank you for joining us for tonight's episode. Shout outs to the Pool Table Network, a collection of like-minded podcasts, including your favorite podcast, Shattercast Uncut, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolters 40K, Plastic Fanatics,
Enter the Realm of Collectors podcast, which also features figure banging, What's in the Fucking Box, their new show, Breaking the Mold, which I've dubbed Realm Detox.
Nice.
Also, part of the cool table are Building Up to It, a Lego podcast, which I found myself listening to more and more often in the recent weeks.
You're falling down that rabbit hole, sir.
I am. I actually bought a Lego set off of eBay that was retired. That wasn't terribly priced. But that's neither here nor there. Fresh Communication, 8 weeks, which may be stillborn.
Oh wow, dark.
Where's the lie, though? Where's the lie?
I think I got them all. So, if I have forgotten any podcasts, we can maybe keep a running tally of which ones I forgot each week. And from the Detox. Oh, and I'm sorry, I was about to wrap up without plugging everything. Follow us on all the major social media channels, Facebook, and the Show Us Your Toys group there. Garrett the Ghost runs things over there. Follow us on Instagram, where Cody is holding it down, Cody3K. Check out www.toydetox.com, which you can see profiles of us, hear all our episodes, and has links to all our social media platforms. And also, be sure to check out Lenny's Dezefticon Instagram for stunning photographs.
Stunning photography.
No, thank you. And check out Planet Sale Express if you want to win a free toy each month. There, I got a plug in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes out for the upcoming Patreon. Will be used to bail Mickey out of jail. Hopefully we can. Hopefully we can get him a decent lawyer. I don't know how Georgia looks at sodomy.
Wait, do we have to do like sexy cosplay photography for our Patreon to actually get people to give us money, or how is it going to work?
Are you volunteering?
I'm not ready for that yet.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I mean, we could do a detox calendar.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
I live in Tampa, the strip club capital of the world, so I'm sure we can find some strippers to dress up in superhero outfits.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm
think
talking us.
We're thinking about getting a firefighter costume and leaning up against a hydrant and looking all sexy.
Well, I was gonna go Darth Vader mask with just a cape and a man or
mankini,
a mankini or a banana hammock.
Right.
Banana hammock.
We can get a.
I guess I'll start shopping for a black singlet, and I can be the Blob from X-Men.
Oh Jesus!
Lord have mercy.
Lenny, you still have that Tarn mask?
Yeah, I do. Yep. Tarn and nothing else.
Sexy Tarn.
Just Tarn, dick, and balls.
I think we're onto something here, fellas.
Uh-oh.
Mickey, we will get you out in no time. All right.
You know where this calendar's gonna sell. You know where this calendar's gonna sell the best? Legions of Transformers. Just saying.
Can we like?
Mickey, you are not a fish. You are a man.
Can we Photoshop all the dicks out of it, and we can make this an anti-KO cancer campaign as well?
Good cancer for the win.
Too much? All right. And with that, I think we're out of here. Good night, fellas.
Good night,
Peace
guys.
out, everybody.
All right.